Good morning, students. Yes, today we are going to start with a new lesson, the Happy Prince. Now listen here, it is also a short story. So, the story with the animals and conveying some message, their moral. So, that is known as the fable. Okay, so here it is a story with the animals. And so it is a fable and it is giving us a message. So this story is about the Happy Prince. So we will start with the lesson, with the story. Now listen here. In a city, the statue of the Happy Prince stood high above the city. So there was a city and the statue of the Happy Prince. Its statue was there and it was very big statue. The statue was there of the Happy Prince stood high above the city. Means from the city, the persons can see, all the persons can see the statue. It was covered with gold. Its eyes were bright with blue jewels and a red jewel hung from its waist. So as it is a statue of a happy prince there. So it was totally covered with the gold and its eyes were bright blue jewels. So eyes were of the blue jewels there, color. And a red jewel hung from its waist with a kamar. So whatever he was wearing the jewelry in the waist, there was a red jewel. Moti jaise hoga. Everyone thought it was very beautiful. So after seeing the statue, the people think that so beautiful the statue is and it looked very happy also. Why aren't you like the happy prince? Mother said to their little boys when they cried. So the prince's face was so happy. So whenever the children used to cry, so mothers used to say that, why don't you look like that happy prince? So happiness is compared to that statue of the prince. Sad man looked at the statue and said, I am glad that someone in the world is happy. So though persons who are sad, they also used to look towards the statue and say that if someone is happy, then we are also happy. Means this statue of a prince is considered that it is a happy. It is a symbol of happiness for the city people. Now one night, a little swallow flew alone over the city. Now it is a bird, swallow, so it flew over the city. His friends had gone away, but he had stayed behind for 6 weeks. So his friends had gone away because these are the migrating birds, the swallow and all. So these birds, his friends had gone and now he was there for 6 weeks. Where can I stay tonight? So he thought, where should I stay? Then he saw the statue. I will stay there, he thought. And as soon as he saw the statue, as it was very big and all the village people could see it. So he also saw the statue and it is made up of gold. And so he said that no, I will stay there. It is high up, so there is plenty of fresh air as it is too much high from the city people. And so there will be fresh air. So I will stay with the statue. I will take shelter in the statue. He landed between the feet of the happy prince. I have a golden bedroom, he thought. So where he landed, he took a rest between the feet of that happy prince as the whole statue was made up of gold. So what he thought, okay, today I will have a golden bedroom. But as he puts his head under his wing, a large drop of water fell on him. So as he puts his head under the wing, so you have seen how the birds, they used to sleep. They will put their head under the wings. They will hide their head. So these also swallow put the head under the wing and when a large drop of water fell there, he looked up. That is very strange, he thought. There is not a cloud in the sky, but it is raining. So he thought, yes, it is very strange, surprising. It is not at all raining or no cloud is there on the sky. Then how the drop of water fell on me? So then another drop fell. I cannot stay on the statue that does not keep me dry, he thought. So another drop also fell. It was a heavy drop again. So he thought, no, I cannot stay under that statue. It will not keep me dry. So for the dryness, I came here and this statue is not at all keeping me dry. He thought, I must find another place. So he thought, no, I have to find another place because here I will be completely wet and I have to stay the whole night. And he decided to fly away. So he decided that he will fly away from here. But as he opened his wings, a third drop fell. So as he opened his wings, what happened? A third drop of water again fell. He looked up and he saw, what did he see? So he looked up and he saw, it was surprising. What he saw there? The eyes of the happy prince were full of tears. Now he saw this is a statue, but its eyes are full of tears. The statue is crying. Tears rolled down his golden face and the tears came over his cheeks there. The face was very beautiful in the moonlight and the swallow felt sorry for him. The face looks very beautiful in the moonlight, but the swallow felt sorry that this beautiful face is crying there. It is not at all happy. Who are you? Asked the bird. Now the bird asked, who are you? Why are you crying? I am the happy prince. Then he asked, then why are you crying? I am wet with your tears. So he told that, then why are you crying? You are the happy prince. Why are you crying? I am wet here because of your tears. When I was alive, said the prince, I had a heart like every other man. So he said that when I was a prince, means when I was alive, jab main jinda tha, at that time I had a heart just like other man. But I did not know what tears were there. So at that time, I did not know what are the tears, means I don't know the sadness in my life. I lived in a palace where there was no sadness. So I used to live in the palace and no sadness was there. In the daytime, I played with my friends in a beautiful garden. And in the evening, I danced. So in the daytime, in the palace, I used to play with my friends in a beautiful garden. And in the evening, I danced there. Means I was totally happy when I was a prince in the palace. There was a high wall around the garden. But I did not know what lay on the other side. So he told that around my garden of the palace, there was a very big wall. So I couldn't see what is happening on the other side of the wall because I have seen only the happiness. I don't know the sadness of the people at all. I did not know what lay on the other side. So I was called the happy prince. And therefore, I don't know what is the sadness, what is going on the other side of the wall. I used to play in the happiness, so I was called as the happy prince. I was pleased with my little world. Now I am dead. So he told that I was very much happy with my little world, with my palace, with my garden, with my friends only. I don't know what the people on the other side of the wall are facing. But now I am dead and they have put me up here. So after my death, they have put up me here, up. I can see all the unhappiness of my city. So here, from here, I can see all the unhappiness which the people of my city are facing. My heart now is made up of a cheap metal. And here when I am a statue, my heart is made up of a cheap, sasta metal. But even that poor heart can feel. And so I cry. Now that poor heart, which is made up of a very cheap metal, that also can feel, and so that's why I am crying. Oh, said the swallow to himself, he is not only gold on the outside. So वो बोलता है, okay, he is not only the gold on the outside, means from inside also he is made up of metal, but he has so many sadness filled in him, and that heart is filled with the sadness. It has the feelings. So that only what we see, the golden and the happy, that is not at all true. Far away from here, said the prince, happy prince, in the low voice, there is a poor house in a little street. So he said that I could see from here, it is a very far, one house is there, where I could see that poor house is there. Because through an open window, I can see a woman at a table. So open window is there and I can see a woman sitting on the table. Her face is very thin and she has rough red hands. Her face is, she is looking very much pale and she has rough and red hands. Rough and means by working hard, her hands has become rough and red. She is making a dress for one of the queen's ladies for a dance in the palace. So what she is doing on the table? She is working hard there. She is making a dress for one of the queen's ladies there, and because there is a dance in the palace. Her little boy is lying on the bed in the corner of the room. So where is her little boy is lying on the bed in the corner of the room. He is very ill. He is crying because she can only give him water from the river. So he is crying because he is hungry, and what she can give only water from the river. Little bird, will you take my red jewel to her? I cannot move up from here. So now he is asking that, little bird, will you take this red jewel, which is very precious, and give it to her, so that at least she could feed her child who is crying because of hunger. I cannot move from here. Yes. Now after that, this happy prince has been a statue there. So how could he move? So he told that, I cannot move. But please carry on this jewel and give it to the mother of that child. Now what the swallow said, my friends are waiting for me in Egypt, said the swallow. Swallow, my friends are waiting. I have to go for today's night only. I stayed here. Little bird, said the prince, please stay. The boy is crying and his mother is so unhappy. Oh, happy prince said, no, please stay here because the boy is crying and his mother is so unhappy because she could not give anything to the boy who is hungry. The happy prince looked very sad and the little swallow was sorry for him. The happy prince was sad for the days, and after hearing, this swallow also became very sad. And it is very cold here, he said, but I will stay with you for one night. Tomorrow I will take the jewel. So what the swallow said, yes, tomorrow I will take the jewel. Today it is very cold, so I will stay with you one night. Thank you, little bird, said the prince. So prince was happy. The prince thanked the bird. So the swallow took the great red jewel from the prince's waist and flew away with it over the roofs of the town. So next day what the swallow did, he took away the red jewel from the prince and then he flew towards that house where the mother was very sad. He passed the palace and heard the sound of dancing. So when he passed the palace, there was dancing going on. The palace people were very happy. The bird passed over the river and flew and flew. And what the bird did, he passed over the river and flew and flew. At last he came to the poor little house and looked inside. So he came now to his destination of a poor lady. There, the boy was lying and the bed still. The mother was asleep. She was so tired. So after working for the whole day, the mother was tired. She was sleeping. And he flew in and put the great red jewel on the table. What he did? He got inside and put that red jewel on the table. Then he flew around the bed, moving the air around the boy's face with his wings. So then he flew around the room, and then he put his wings and flew it over the boy's face there. Oh, said the boy, my face does not feel so hot. I think I am getting better. And he fell asleep. Boy को लगता है after getting the breeze of fresh air, he thought, no, I am not feeling hot now. I think I am getting better. So he also fell asleep. So then the swallow flew back to the happy prince. And again the swallow came back to the happy prince. It is strange, the swallow said, it is very cold, but I feel quite warm. So swallow बोलता है, it is very cold outside, but I feel very warm. Why? Because it is very strange. That is because you have done a good thing, said the prince. The little swallow fell asleep. So after that, what the prince said, no, you have done something good for others. So that goodness is there in you. And after that, the little swallow, it also fell asleep. When day came, the swallow flew down to the river for a bath. So as the next day, the sun rose there. So what did the swallow do? It flew down to the river for a bath. A clever man saw him. So what a clever man was passing by, he said, thank that kind of bird here in winter. So he thought, this kind of bird is here in the winter. No, they fly away. I must write that down. So he started writing about that bird. I will go to Egypt tonight, thought the swallow. Now what the swallow thought after taking a bath? Now today night I have to go to Egypt. When the moon came up, he flew back to the happy prince. So as the moon came up, means in the evening time, in the night time, again this swallow flew to the happy prince. Can I do anything for you in Egypt? He said. Mrs. told him that I am going back to Egypt. So can I do anything for you there in the Egypt? Little bird, said the prince. Please, will you stay with me for one more night? So again the prince requested him to stay there for one more night. My friends are waiting for me, answered the bird. So what the bird answered? My friends are waiting for me. How could I stay here? So again, my friends are waiting far away across the city, said the prince. I can see a young writer in a little room at the top of a house. So he said, again, far away, I could see a young writer. He's sitting on the top of the house and he's doing something. He's sitting on the table that is covered with papers. So he's sitting on the table, he's writing there and it's covered with papers. At his side, there are some dead flowers. He is trying to finish a story, but he is very cold and he cannot write. He is trying to finish the story, but because of the cold, he could not complete the story. But he is very cold and he cannot write. There is no fire in the room and he is weak and hungry. He is weak also, he is hungry also and no fire in the room. So, I will wait with you for one more night, said the swallow kindly. What shall I take to him? But okay, I will stay with you for one more night. But now what I have to do? What can I take to that writer who is writing there in the cold and who couldn't write? Take him one of my eyes, said the prince. Now what princess? Yes, go take one of my eyes and go to that writer. They are made up of beautiful blue stones. So my eyes are made up of blue stones which are very beautiful. The young man can sell it and buy wood and food. He can finish his story. So what the happy prince is trying to tell him that young man can sell that and he can buy food also. And he will not be hungry and he will buy wood also to keep him warm. So he can do that. Then he can finish his story because he has to write the story. Take out your eye, dear prince, said the swallow. I cannot do that. And he began to cry. How can I take out your eye? I can't do that, said the swallow. And he began to cry. Do it, said the prince. Now prince said, no, you have to do it. You have to take out my eye. So the swallow took out the prince's eye and flew away to the young man's room. Now again he took out the eye and he went to the young man's room. It was easy to get in because there was a hole in the roof. Now it was easy to get inside the room because there was a hole on the roof. Okay. The young man was sitting with his head in his hand, so he did not hear the bird's wings. So this young man, he was keeping both the hands on his head and was sitting like that, thinking about the story. And he could not hear the bird's wings. When he looked up, a beautiful blue jewel was lying on the dead flowers. So when he looked up, he put that beautiful jewel, blue jewel, on the flowers there, the flowers which were dead. Someone likes my stories, he cried happily. This is a gift from someone who has read my books. So now what the writer thought? Someone has liked my story and so they have given me the gift. So here is a gift because I have written such a good story. Now I can finish writing the story. He was very happy, so he also told that now I can finish writing the story. On the next day, the swallow flew down to the river. He watched the seamen working on the ships. I am going to Egypt, he cried, but no one listened to him. So next day again the swallow went down towards the river for the bath. There he watched a seaman who was there working on ships. So he told that I am going to Egypt, but no one listened to this swallow. When the moon came up, he flew back to the happy prince. I have come to say goodbye to you, he said. So again he came back to the prince and told that now this time final I am going to Egypt and I came to say you goodbye. Okay, so he came to the prince. Little bird, said the prince, please will you stay with me for one more night? So again the prince the third time is asking, will you stay with me one more night? Means again he requested the swallow to stay with him for one more night and we will continue the story tomorrow. Okay, a very nice story. And the swallow is, why swallow came again back to say only goodbye? No, the swallow was also happy to do something good for others. He is acting only as a mediator for the prince, but still he was feeling happy. He was feeling satisfied that he is doing something good for others. That's why again and again he was returning to say goodbye. If he had any work, again to do something good for others. Okay, we will continue with the story. Till then, goodbye everyone. Okay, goodbye. Read it properly, read the lesson properly.